I look like someone?
What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that?
Do I look like a nail person?
No. Like,
Do I suffer
one
when you look at me? Do I look at that like someone who has
do people
problems?
go around looking like they have
I'm going to
problems?
ask, do you eat too much?
No,
Do you sleep too much?
no,
So you're a perfect human being.
no.
In those areas, you don't sleep too much, you don't eat too. Okay, do you have a weird sleeping disorder, like you wake up at 11 and you sleep at 3 a.m.
No,
you wake up at...
I actually have a time to go to bed anytime when I wake up every day.
And you keep it.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so maybe
It's just like in the beginning it's difficult, but when you do it, it becomes a habit. When I started, I needed an alarm clock to wake me up in the morning. Like I used it for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Then right now I don't use it. Like I just go to bed when it's time, and I just wake up on time. I don't need an alarm clock.
But you know, mental health issues go beyond
Exactly.
the surface. They go beyond the things that we can research about. Like, for instance, you can experience anxiety, which is normal. Like for me, when I want to sing, you know, there's a crowd. You have to go and stand in front. You'll be anxious.
Yes.
Sometimes it might not even have to do with the crowd. It might be talking like this. You might be anxious. You don't get any of those things.
I do. Like right now, I'm scared. Like before shooting this episode, I was like, my heart beats like but
it's only those.
Does that mean I'm ill or I have a mental illness or something like that?
How about heartbreaks? How do you deal with those? Do they bring about like depression or make you really, really, really sad for a very, very long time?
It depends on what's a long time for you. Like are we talking about 1 month or 2 years?
Even 3 days. 3 days.
2 days.
Yeah. 3 days.
Even 3 days can be considered. I feel
It can.
The thing is, like, we need to process issues when we have problems.
Exactly.
Like, what happened? We don't just have to be like, oh, it happens to me, it's so sad, it's so bad. No, like, why does that happen? Like, I am scared to do the show right now. Why am I scared? This is the question I need to ask myself. Why am I scared to shoot? And what's the reason for that? Because I don't do that usually. Like, I'm not used to it. So what's the solution for that? Go and talk. That's all. The more I will do it, the more I feel comfortable doing it. It's that simple for me. I don't need to see someone and have him tell me that, no, you know, where you came from, there's like that. So
I think in your case it's slightly different, because considering the fact that a lot of people are affected by this mental health of a thing. Because it's more like, if someone is depressed, it's going to affect how they think, it's going to affect how they relate with the outside world, it's going to affect almost everything about them. So if you are able to deal with these things, then it's good. But according to me, I feel like not everyone knows how to deal with these mental health issues. Because
for me, you said you might have suffered from depression here and there, right? Personally, I have depression, anxiety. That's just that about that. But I've met people when I was going through those things that I've asked, like, how do you deal with this? And they said, I just look at a situation and then I realize that there's nothing that I can do about it. So I take myself out of that pain because it has happened. I can't do anything about it. And I feel like that's what you're saying too, right? If you feel pain, but you don't let it overtake you.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, exactly.
So that brings me to a question: is depression a self-taught thing? Something that is taught to us maybe in our society? If you look at, for instance, America, and then you're coming from Southern Africa, I come from Southern Africa, maybe there's an element of where we come from that has made us to try and find self-pity in situations where we really should walk away, and due to that we've developed depression, we've developed anxiety, because we expect so much from from people around us, do you think that maybe depression is something that is affected by environment?
Actually, I'm gonna talk through my experience.
Yeah.
I got depressed thrice. It was because of some issues. Okay, let me go. It is because of some relationship issues.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, like when you have a girlfriend, you love the girl, something happens, you get heartbroken. Obviously, you're going to have this time of like isolation. There's this time of you start to be thinking, what did I do wrong? Because already I was thinking like I'm the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then the moment I started thinking like I'm the problem, that was where everything went wrong, because I started mocking myself. I started saying, if I could have done this, maybe I could still be together with her. If I could have done this, then also now I will still be with you guys, and you will not know that
Exactly.
I have depression. Because like back at home, like there's a saying that says a man doesn't fall, yes.
Yeah.
A man doesn't cry, or he doesn't fall on the ground.
Just lies.
He just lies down. Yeah, so if you go to a funeral, you want to cry. You end up not crying. You just be tough. Everything is alright. No, it's life. God gives and God takes. He has taken this one. At the end of the day, that thing is building. So I feel like the time it will explode, it will result in mental health issues.
So, Harry, like, don't you think that maybe at some point you might have a breaking point?
Okay, I get you guys. You mean, if I clearly understand what you just said,
Yeah.
you say like you have a lot of events happening and you just keep them inside, like you amass a lot of them, and one time just like.
I think maybe you don't necessarily amass them, but what you do is you just push them aside. You think you dealt with them, but you push them aside so you can move on yourself. But I feel when you keep doing that, at some point there's going to be something that's going to hit you very hard that you might not necessarily be able to push aside or say, okay, this has happened. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to move on. But that one thing, I myself one time was like, there is nothing that can make me cry. There is nothing that can make me depressed. But at some point in my life, I found myself really, 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 really sad. And there was nothing I could do about it. I talked to people and they told me, no, when things happen, you just have to move on. But sometimes something hits you and you really can't just take that step forward and go. It has to be addressed deep down inside and you know it. So I'm asking you, like, do you think maybe it's an issue where you haven't really opened up to yourself to something and then that thing lets you down? It doesn't have to be a relationship, maybe a project, anything that you open up yourself to but it doesn't work out as you anticipated.
The thing is, those things happen.
Exactly, yeah.
They happen. Now, are you the only one they happen to, like?
I feel like there's a kind of mental health problem that has a name for what you're talking about. I think we can talk about it in seconds. Or maybe you're actually one of the small percentage of people that don't have mental health.
Things happen. Things happen in life. Like people can die. You can put yourself into something. You go hard. Maybe you start a business or something like that, and it fails.
Yeah.
It can happen. You put everything you had. Like this is what you tell yourself. You put everything you had. Sometimes we don't, because we can check facts and we see that you didn't actually put everything. This is the reality, and we have to be honest with ourselves. Like when bad things happen to us, we have more responsibility that we most of the time take about the thing that happened. Like the girl broke up with you. What did you do? There's something you did. Maybe you didn't pay attention to her. Maybe she wanted something you didn't give her. Maybe like you didn't understand her love language at the time. There's always something. Things don't happen just one day. She didn't decide to leave you that day. Like it's an accumulation of things that happen,
Yeah, you know.
and then that. But we have you have to face the cold truth about you and what you do. Like if I fail today doing what I do, it's my fault. It's not something else. It's not like coronavirus or something happened. No, what? Why is it happening to me? Or people don't like me? What I do? No,
Wow.
it's my fault. Everything I do is my fault. Like I don't.
That's just so true.
And the other thing after that, after taking responsibility, it's like, man, look at the reality of life.
Mm-hmm.
You have two hands, you have two legs, you are alive. You have the internet, you have your parents. Most of us have our parents. Why are you going to complain for about, like, I don't get you guys. If you want to complain today, why am I going to complain about? I don't have food. I have food. I eat every day. Like, there's water. Why am I going to complain? Like, if I really have to complain, what would that be about? Like, tell me.
I think you're one of the few mentally strong people that I've ever met.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
Yeah.
I am not mentally strong. This is normal. This is normal because sometimes I feel down. Like I'm not
You're
like
actually strong because in times that where we live, most of us, it's hard for us to actually acknowledge the fact that we are wrong, to acknowledge the fact that it's not as big as it looks. Our mind tells us this is big, and we're like, yes, mind, this is really big. But you know how to tell the mind that no, what you're thinking is not exactly what it seems like.
Exactly.
And not a lot of us can do that.
Why?
I don't know. It's just that's why I was saying maybe sometimes upbringing, where you grew up, or circumstances, maybe even who you were in your school. Maybe some of us were leaders and you were just taught to be tough, and you never really tended to yourself and actually tried to reveal the truth deep on the inside, and you just kept being tough until you just became this person that at some point you break because you learned to be tough. But how you're addressing it is really great because you're saying it as it is. But the sad truth is, today most of us can't do that. Can't do what you're saying. It's just difficult.
Very good.
And this is me being honest. I've tried it before. I've been in situations where I've like, Julia, you gotta get out of this. And I said to myself, look, that happened, that's fine, just leave it at the back, keep moving forward. And then I take one step and I'm like, no, go back. Because my mind tells me, listen, you need to cry a little bit more. And when I cry, I feel better somehow. Like I feel I've cried now, But why am I crying? It has happened. I need to move forward. My mind might not be exactly as strong at that moment, and I feel like that's what most people encounter. It's really, really difficult to just.
I also feel like crying is actually a good thing because it helps you to relieve it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think the problem that I usually had was the fact that I couldn't cry.
Yeah,
Perhaps if I could cry, I would just feel better afterwards, but boom, I just can't cry.
I also sometimes have this issue, like I feel bad, I want to cry, like you leave it, but I can't. So
see, me, I cry.
do not make me a mental ill person.
Yes.
No, it's not like mental. Okay, we can say mental illness now, right? Can be the result, because I feel like mental health, right, is broad. So if we say mental health, it could be positive mental health or negative mental health. So things like depression, it's obviously negative, but how you will handle it, right? It will now, like just like how am I now? I'm fine, right?
Yes, you are.
I'm fine now because I just felt like the way you were saying, I just thought to myself like, damn, I'm getting depressed. This girl broke my heart. Like what? There are 9 million more women than men in Russia. So why am I being depressed here? Something like that.
Wow. Right.
So yeah, that's just that. So I think crying actually like it helps.
That's the other thing that I wanted to get back to, what you're talking about, how a man doesn't fall, he lies on the ground.
Exactly.
You people can't cry because you've been told you just can't cry because you're a man, and
you need to be strong.
And if you have a strong mind, I think at some point it also contributes to you not crying because you realize the truth of the matter, that sometimes you can weigh and see that this is something worth crying for, and this is just not it.
Same.
Yes.
Don't cry, just comfort the women. And let the women
Why?
cry.
Because the women are the weak ones.
They're the weak
If
ones.
that is wow. No, I'm not taking that. I feel like people who cry are actually strong because they want to deal with the issue. They want to release, and there is healing in releasing. You know,
Yeah.
when you actually deal with it. People, I don't know how people deal with things. I wish I was as strong as you, but for me, I want to sit in the space of my discomfort. I want to look at it from every angle. I want to feel everything to an extent that when I am done there, when I say I am done, something like that will never take me down again. When I pick myself up from that situation, I am never going to be as weak as I was at that time because I let myself feel everything. I let myself cry over the pain, the hurt, and everything. So when I managed to pick myself up finally and said I'm done, I was done. So that's why I like to just address my emotions.
That's perfect.
Then what you do afterwards? This is what's interesting to me. Like
exactly.
You say
I'll be
you
honest
leave
with
everything
you.
behind, but does it actually solve the issue?
It actually solves the issue. Like, it's so rare that I would find myself repeating the same mistake that took me down, like really, really down, that got me depressed. Because I know myself, I can't lie to myself that much. But when I'm scared, I'll be lying to myself, right? But afterwards, I'm now a new person. I've accepted the things that happened. And when I see trouble approaching, I know that that's trouble. And it's now my decision. Do I want to go back again to put myself back in that situation that took me down? I don't want that. So I like for instance, I've seen this thing when somebody said, a girl finds herself on her phone and a guy is texting her and she's smiling like this. No, curve that person because I don't want to go back there. I don't want to be that person that makes myself vulnerable just so somebody can use that against me. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You said you didn't believe you were have mental health issues before, but now you believe in it. So what changed?
As I was just doing my research, learning about this mental health, that's when I started seeing like mental health is part of us. That's why I said it can be positive or it can be negative. So that's when I saw like, I think we need positive mental health because the negative one, it's going to affect how we're going to think, how we're going to talk to people, how we're going to do things.
That's true.
Just like, what makes you do what you do? You. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Okay, what makes you think the way you think about everything?
Like, you mean what makes it?
I think it's the environment.
The
Like
environment.
the people I have around me, the videos I watch, the people I talk to. I'm a byproduct of all that. My parents, my education, the school education, the religion I belong to. I am everything at the same time. Like my physical aspect, my spiritual aspect, my surroundings. Yes, this is actually what makes me think or say or do what I want to do.
But I'm now confused because apparently I break down and you don't. But your environment makes you do the things that you do. But
Yes.
in mine, I try so hard not to let it make me do anything. For me, environment, society, school, whatever, I try to put my own ideas there. I try to not let it affect me or anything like that. But again, I get to be the one who breaks down, but you don't when you let your environment like.
This is the thing. We are all like we are influenced by our environment.
That's true, yeah.
This is the fact. This is not something we choose or we can say no. I want to go there, but I will be me. I won't take anything from them. No, it never happened. Like you will always take things from people you surround yourself with. The thing is, you have to think about who you want to be, who do you want to be, and where do you want to go. Then you choose. You create your environment. You have to create your environment. It's not something like, of course, sometimes, like when we came to Russia, we didn't choose who is going to be our our roommate or who are going to be our classmates. But at the end of the class, you choose who you talk to or what you talk about with who you talk about it. So it's our choice. The religion, like the church, some people have been going to the same church for their whole life. They are not comfortable there. They don't even understand, but they are just going there because of
because of what? Pressure and people.
I don't know. I don't want to. It's different for everybody.
Yes,
That's why I'm not saying that. Like it's the same thing for everything. Like sport. Some people like maybe they like soccer, football, but they are in an environment where people play basketball. They can start playing basketball and be the one who doesn't know anything and the people laugh at them every time, or they can move from that environment and go where people play football and play football with them and enjoy and be happy, if I can say it like that. But we choose. It's a choice. Like
Wow.
it always depends on us. I don't see things don't happen to me. Things happen because of me. Like if I want something to happen, I make things for that. Like I do things or I prepare myself, put myself in environments where those things can happen.
But I feel like everyone wants to choose what happens to them. Everyone wants, but most of the people can't, because I feel like emotions, they get the best of them.
Emotional, overrated.
It's overrated.
Yeah. Like people being scared. Everybody's scared. I don't know anyone who's not scared. The thing is,
I give emotions are overrated. That's true.
You think?
Sometimes you feel like you have to do something and you are scared. Can you imagine what you picture in yourself? Let's just stop now and imagine. Maybe you have to call someone and yes, let me think about an example. Or I don't know what to say. I will just take a personal example. Like sometimes I need to call someone to ask him something, or I need his help. I've never talked to him, but I know he can help me, or he can know the person who can help me. I can be like, this is something that it really happens. It's not something I'm making up. Like I start saying to myself, no, he's busy, he doesn't talk to people like you don't have to do this, he won't answer, or why are you even doing it? You don't need him, you don't need to do that. Like stop right now, just go, you don't need to do that. Or he's going to, man, those things happen in like 5 seconds. I'm telling it to myself, like you cannot make it, it's too hard, you don't need to make that phone call right now, no, you should
and that's
wait.
your mind.
This is my mind. So at some point I have to say to myself, like, nothing is going to happen. It's just a phone call. Two things that happen. He can pick, or he will pick, or he won't pick. That's the thing that happens.
Stop you. You see, at some time you have to tell yourself, no, it's just a phone call. How do you shift from that hectic moment of no, you don't have to call him to no, come on, it's just a phone call. How does that shift happen? I feel like everyone wants to know, because most of the time our mind begins to say, no, you can't do it. No, it's too much pressure. No, and then you have to make that shift of, no, it's not as bad as you think. How does it even happen? How do you structure your mind? I'm assuming maybe it's something that every time you feel those negative thoughts coming, you just have to silence them and say, no.
Take control.
The fact that I started thinking of calling this person means I need to continue with this, and emotions don't have to scare me. I feel it's something that we really need to take note of. Like, how does that shift happen from being scared to actually executing the initial plan? Yeah, and then if we can actually do that, then we exercise a healthy way of using our mind and not letting fear, anxiety, and all those things take over. Yeah, let's talk about anxiety. Now that she started phone calls, I'll be honest. One time we had a phone call together, and we were on Zoom, right? Yeah.
Yes.
When you said I'm going to call, I was like, there's this thing about me. I phone calls. I don't like phone calls unless I'm really, really close to that person. And even if we're close, sometimes if it's a video call, I get anxious because I'm thinking, first of all, how long is this call going to last? How long do I have to? It's like I'll be holding my breath until I cut the phone, I hang up. And I don't know what that is, but it's
That
just
is mental health.
It just happened, and I know that I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm just trying to comfort myself, but I've seen people saying they hate phone calls. Sometimes I can watch my phone ring and until
You don't pick the call.
no, and then I'll get on my WhatsApp or I'll text you and say sorry, I just saw your missed call because I really can't. I can't. I'll think, what do I have to say? Like, which words do I? Those things that make me really no. I don't know what that is, but it's anxiety for me. It's the anxiety, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Take control of your mind.
Like how? I know I'm not the only one, so I'm sure people really want to know.
The thing is, what's the end goal? This is what actually how I process this. Like, what do I want? I want maybe I'm taking the example of the phone call. I need you to do something, and I know I have two options. I can text you or I can call you. The call is going to be 2 minutes, and I will get the answer, even less. Sometimes 59 seconds or 30 seconds. Do you know him? Yes, I do. Okay, can you give me his number? Okay, thank you. The phone, the call is over. Or I can send you a message and wait for you to answer in 3 hours. When you answer, I will be busy certainly. Then I will get back to you 3 hours later or 4 hours later. Then it will take me 2 days to get what I wanted. Or I could just call you Srazu and get the what I want. So this is how I see it. I can get it in 2 days or I can get it in 30 seconds. This is my choice.
Yeah.
And I choose 30 seconds every time. I just pick the phone.
But that's the process of you calling, not you receiving a phone call.
Yes.
To me, I can call. I call.
If you receive the phone call.
Receiving a phone call is different for me. It's like, I don't know how to explain. It's just different. I can call. If I say, if you want to call me, right? That's the thing, exactly. Like, if I see you calling me, I let it most of the times, and I'm sorry if you're over there and I've done that to you. I'm sorry. But I can let it ring and then take 5 minutes and then call you back. I don't know why I do that, but sometimes calls just scare me. And yeah, taking 5 minutes is a way I try to deal with it. Maybe it's even. I feel like phone calls are the direct way of making you feel uncomfortable, especially if it's bad news, or if it's news, basically. And I don't like surprises. Like a phone call is like a surprise every time. And my phone ring, I feel like surprise, and I don't like that.
I think also perhaps what can help you is to try to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe that can help.
Yes, definitely.
So this show for me was me getting out of my comfort zone. I thought about it and I said, am I going to be okay? Am I going to even open my mouth and talk? Because sometimes my voice tends to come out differently when I'm anxious. And I was thinking, am I even going to, when people see this, what are they going to say? Until I say to myself, listen, Judith, you gotta get out of that space. I've had opportunities given to me that I let go because I felt my privacy was being invaded. So me coming here and sitting in front of the camera is like my privacy is being invaded, but I said to myself, you gotta do it. You gotta break out of that comfort zone. So yeah. And I'm not even anxious.
You see?
Yeah.
This is actually what I wanted to talk about. Like, when you do things, you feel better, you feel good, and you want to do more things.
Yeah.
So I think a good treatment for anxiety is to get things done.
Exactly.
This is actually how I process it, because everybody feels anxious at some point. So when I feel anxious, what do I do? Like, sometimes I feel overwhelmed, like I have a lot of problems, whether it's family, whether it's school, whether it's like everything. I just take a piece of paper, I just write down like what is the problem I'm actually facing, what are those problems, and I just mark them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes it goes to 19.
Yeah, wow.
And then I just read them and I think about one action I can do to move forward regarding that issue. and I take one action regarding every step. Like it might be like, because personally sometimes I don't talk with my family a lot. Like we can stay 2 weeks without having any news. And I will feel like I feel bad because I'm not taking news from my parents and stuff, and they actually talk to me about it every time. Like, you should call off more often and take news and know how you are doing, if you are sick or anything. I would just feel like, oh, I need to call them, I need to get to know how they are and stuff. I just pick the phone and I call them. Whatever I'm doing at that moment, I just call or I leave a message. How are you doing and stuff? Have a great week. That's it. I move on. I go to school. I have a lot of work I need to give back. Where do I start? What do I know? I take my pen, I take a list of, I write the list. I have seven disciplines, and where do I start? I pick one, I start there. Maybe it's texting the star or a classmate. I text him, how do we do to get this done? And then I move. Maybe it's the show, like we need to shoot today. What's missing? What do I need? Who do I need to call? I think about, okay, I can send him a message or I can call him. I call him. And most of the time people, they don't even pick, but you feel better because you actually did something regarding the issue, and you move. Going to the gym, okay, today I feel bad, like I'm not feeling okay. I just take my bag and I go. I don't like, I will figure things out when I'm there. When I get there, I can just work for 5 minutes and then I leave. But I know I went there. I went to the gym and that's it. I leave. And yeah, this is how I take it. I just get things done and I feel better.
Yeah. Perfect. And you must
Where should I start?
I was thinking about your issue, and I was thinking maybe you should stop thinking for the other person. Because if you start thinking like, they'll judge me like this, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do this, I think it will restrict you from doing a lot of things, from getting a lot of things done.
No, it's sometimes it's not about the other person, it's me. It's
Thank you.
me, it's sometimes I can answer the phone, right? But I keep saying, okay, bye, okay. And then I keep trying to reduce the conversation. When I answer the phone and I notice it's not something urgent, I try to hang up, to make that person hang up, because it's just the anxiety of being on the phone. I don't know, it's not about the other person, it's just, I prefer to text. I can text you, I don't have a problem, but to call, there's just something there about it, and it's me, it's not the other person. Like for instance, relatives, I do have an uncle that likes to call for an hour. And and it's family, you know. It's family, and you know you can't say bye to them. You can't do anything about it. So at first,
why do I don't understand? Why you can't do that?
It's disrespectful for you to hang up on family. Like,
what do you mean hanging? Like you're talking in court?
No, you do know that those small conversations that lead to hang up, saying, oh, all right, oh yeah, when you're about to hang up, I do that.
Just
when people call me because I want to hang up. So I can't do that with family because we have this thing where if they call you, they are the ones that hang up. Exactly. You're not the one that hangs up. So every time someone calls me, I'm thinking, when is this person going to hang up? Not because they're, even if it's like a friend that's close. The fact that they are not with me and it's over the phone just makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. And I don't know, it's just a fun thing.
And why don't you tell the person that?
How many people will I tell?
No.
How many people will I tell that I'm uncomfortable? I'll be telling everyone.
I feel like if she tells every person like that, I'm uncomfortable talking to you, I think it's going to ruin a lot of relationships. She might just end up alone. Like, Brenton, I'm uncomfortable talking to you. Henry, I'm uncomfortable talking to you.
You see,
Brenton
it gets better for me when you call me and then I don't pick up and then I call you back. And I say, oh, I saw your missed call when I saw it ringing, to be honest, and I hate that. But it's the truth. But it gives me a sense of relief when I get to call you back. Then when you call me, I have no idea why it's like that, but it's just like that.
So we're gonna help you fight that. We're gonna put Judith's phone number here, and 20 people must call her. 20 people must call her so that you can fight that. Will that help?
I'll probably not pick up. Yeah. So my uncle, he calls for an hour, and I just put it on loud. For 1 hour. And he likes to talk, so he doesn't realize what's happening, but I'll be busy on my laptop and I'm just saying, I'm not even listening. It's better for me, but I don't want to do that to people. You see, that's the problem. But
Then don't do that if you don't want to do that. It's simple.
if I don't want to do that, then I have to hang up. It's more disrespectful and rude.
Hanging up the call and then hanging up.
And do you know one thing? That it could be a business call. And then because of this anxiety, I let it go. I have let business calls go. And opportunities, like I said, where somebody is called and say, can we do this together? And I know I want to do it, but it feels like I have to become someone else. I have to have another persona, and I'm not always willing to be that person. I want to be myself. I want to give all of me. So when I get myself in situations where I have to be someone else, I just look away. So that's why I say it's just about breaking out of your comfort zone. And calls, they try to get me out of my comfort zone.
So I think the solution for me is just, as you said, you should give people a number and they just call. Just call and you will get used to it, because I don't see any other solution, because you cannot escape from phone calls your entire life. You have to find a way to.
How about meetings? How do you guys do with meetings, meeting people? When someone says, let's meet today or tomorrow or whenever.
With meetings, I don't think I've had a problem going to meetings. I think like maybe when I was young, but at this day and time, no, I don't have any problems with meetings. Don't know about you, Henry.
I don't even understand the question. Like what?
It's like the phone call thing. Phone calls make me feel uncomfortable. How about meetings? Do they make you think before going out? Like, should I really go out? Do you make excuses just simple because you don't want to go out?
To go out to meet someone?
Yeah.
No.
The only thing that can stop people from going out, like maybe me at times, not all the time. Maybe it's because I'll be feeling like I'm lazy to go out meet this person, or I'm feeling like I can do something much better than to go meet that person. That's just that.
The thing, like what you said before, when you get in the room, you feel stressed, you don't know what you are going to say, it's when it's crowded or there are people you don't know, you feel anxious and stuff. Everybody feel like that. Like when I meet someone, a new person, I'm anxious. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how I look like. Yes, but I don't let that stop me from the opportunity of meeting a new person. You get what I'm trying to say? Like there's a big picture. I'm going for something, and I won't let those small things in my mind like cut me from that thing.
What if the big picture is the comfort zone?
Get out of it.
But it's the big picture. Like, I want to be comfortable.
You want to be comfortable. You really want to be comfortable.
No, I don't want to be comfortable. That sounds so weird. So, no. But meetings for me are like challenging. It can even be in a where we live in the same building and I can't go to see you.
Wow.
Because of discomfort.
Yeah. I think it's like, it's because you don't do it often. The more you do it, the more you feel comfortable doing it. And since there is a lot of things, like I see it's a lot about being comfortable for you.
Yeah.
So you should just try to do small things that make you uncomfortable every day. Like it depends. It can be a phone call today. It can be eating something different. It can be talking to someone you don't usually talk to. So just try to put yourself out of your comfort zone in different areas. It can even be watching a YouTube video you don't used to watch. Like I about a topic you know nothing about, and you just build on top of that. You won't just wake up one day and feel confident like I can do everything in the world. It doesn't happen like that. So this is one thing. The second thing is you can try to be around people that are more like extremely confident. If you have people who are confident,
that has worked. I've seen that. Yeah, you just meet a person and they are really confident, and then you too, you just feel. Yeah. But it ends when the person goes home and you're going to your house.
Yeah, so it's contagious. If you surround yourself with those people, at some point you too will start feeling like there's nothing I can do. I can do it. Because everybody is saying it around you, and you'll be like, why am I the only one? So you just try sometimes just because of the environment, and then it will become a habit for you.
I feel like, I'll just be honest, I feel this is a boy thing. you being able to just go and meet your friends, I feel maybe if we had another girl in the conversation, maybe she would have just a little bit say something. Or I'm not trying to make us look like the weaker sex or anything, but it's just, sometimes women, we can be scared.
Like everybody?
No, differently. Just scared of going to meet people because of the world, so many things happen. But I'm not thinking of that when somebody says, let's meet up. It's just that thing, I don't trust that I can just leave my room and meet someone just like that.
Then you should do that more often.
Maybe a little bit of confidence.
And then I change, and I'm afraid of that. Because if I do that more often, then I'm going to be this outgoing person, and then that won't feel like me.
What do you mean by feel like you?
That will be another version of me.
Is it a bad thing? What's wrong with that?
I'm thinking, will I be able to contain her? Will I be able to be that person?
Mental health. Mental health. That's exactly.
Now you understand why I don't believe in this thing, because once you believe in it, like everything will be went out for you.
I just need everything to be wiped off. I feel like I've been caught off guard. I don't want to ever. Wow. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to comfort myself and say, those watching who feel the same way as I do, we got a problem.
You don't have you have no problem for me.
But it's a problem. Like I have to fix that. I have to work towards feeling more comfortable.
The thing is, the people around you. When you say you are scared, you don't want to do stuff, they just tell you it's okay, it's normal, it's going to be okay. Just stay, and nothing changed. Like nothing's going to change.
No, you know what? I don't say I'm scared. I just say I'm sick. Something happened. I'm cooking. Things like that. Things that you can't force someone to come when they tell you.
I'm talking about those around you when you do that. I'm not talking about the actual person you're talking to.
Okay.
Like if I see you every time saying to people I'm cooking when you are not, or I'm sick when you are not, and like you have homework to do, you don't have homework to do, or you don't do homework. Like if I let you do that, that means I don't really want you to release that thing, because I'm okay with you feeling like that.
But it's I don't want us to misunderstand something though. It's really not, when you're going through it, it doesn't feel like
mental health.
Something wrong with you. It just feels like I'm fighting for myself, like I'm fighting for my own peace. And most of the times when I have to cancel plans, there are plans that I would have made when I wasn't entirely sure if I really wanted to carry through with them. And then I have to cancel because I lied. So now I have to cancel. But the thing is, if I never really say, okay, I'll meet up, then I'll never even be able to try and meet up. So I just say yes, but
it's more like everything starts here. That's why we chose the topic mental health. It starts here.
Yes.
So perhaps if you fight to take control every little thought, like what Henry was saying. Perhaps it can help.
I want to watch this video after 3 months. I want to see if there's going to be any progress. It's good to document this because we also get to reflect after some time, go back and try to see, have I tried to do better for myself? Have I tried to keep those walls down? Because I feel like I built walls around myself a lot. And it's not just about the things that I've mentioned in this video. There are so many things, and I know there are so many people that can relate to this. So I just, it's a thing where you get to reflect on yourself and just say, am I really being good to myself? Is this the comfort that I want, or I'm trying to deprive myself of a whole lot that I can get if I had to knock those walls down? So,
I want to add something to what you just said. Like, I don't control everything in my, like, I don't control my thoughts, or I'm not in control of everything. Sometimes, not sometimes, almost every time I am scared. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel lost, and I feel like there's no issue, there's no end to what I am, the issue at hand. But the thing is, you have to understand that it's normal. It's okay to feel lost, and you won't have all the answers all the time. You don't need all the answers to do something, to do things. You don't need to feel like, oh, okay, now everything is perfect, every light are green, so I can start. No. Sometimes you just need to commit and do it. And while you are doing it, then the confidence will come. Like right now, we are shooting it. When we started, I said, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to be in the show. I want to be behind.
Yeah.
You remember? But then I said, but why am I? What is the reason behind? Why am I shy of doing it?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen to me? Nothing. And I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how I'm going to talk. I don't know if I'm going to sound okay, or if people are going to see that I'm scared. But the only thing I was sure that it was that I'm going to do it. And while I started, like, it just started, it comes, and I feel more and more comfortable, and I feel more and more, I share, I talk, and it's okay. Next week, this week I was actually excited to start the show because I wanted to talk, like, because I started. But if I wanted to know exactly what I'm going to talk about, I want to know every word, every line I'm going to say, I would have never started.
Yeah.
Like today, you get notes. I didn't prepare anything. I just start talking because I don't need that. The more I prepare, the more I will feel stressed. So I will just talk like that. Of course, I have bullet points. Like I have points I knew I wanted to talk about, but I didn't prepare like every single thing But that's it. You just have to commit and to start doing what you want to do, and every answer will come on the way. People, ideas and stuff, they will just come, and eventually you will feel more comfortable and more confident, and you will just move on. You won't have the answer every time.
True, that's true.
Don't wait to have everything figured out before starting.
Otherwise you won't start.
You will never start.
Exactly.
So, Brenton, before we close, I wanted to ask you something. You said that part about feeling sad, or let me just say depressed, and then you said you get to ask yourself, was I wrong? Did I do something? I think those are very relevant questions. As much as we have to actually look at the situation and see it as it is, sometimes the situation gets to be what it is because someone else planted ideas in our mind. Sometimes our mind can be shifted, it can be played with, it can become what it is due to words coming from an outside source, not necessarily your words.
Exactly.
And you literally succumb and fall for it. And when someone is telling you are not capable, when someone is telling you you'll never be the person that I love, or I don't love you, or things like that, things that can put you down, you tell yourself I'm capable. But the thing is, those words, they plant, they grow. And when that person is gone now, they just begin to come back. And they really weigh your mental health down. And I feel it's called gaslighting. It's one of the things that literally affects our mental health and causes things like depression. So yeah, sometimes we don't have to blame ourselves. We just have to look at the root cause of it and just affirm that we're better than what another person told us we were. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's just it with mental health. A part 2 will come out soon, right, guys?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's it.
Perhaps we could even have another person who has had a problem
Yes,
of
I think
mental health. 2 or 3 people.
Why are you making it sound like okay?
Okay. So I'm gonna say thank you for watching to all those that watched the video up to the end. I'm going to request, can you please subscribe to our YouTube channel? Leave a comment. Just get out of your comfort zone. Tell us when, how many times, how many times you got depressed, how many times you had mental health. Yeah, what you know about it.
I mean, to even comment is getting out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
For me, for instance, to say, okay, now I want to comment, it's getting out of my comfort zone. And I think maybe there are people like that somewhere watching. Just try to knock those walls down and let us know what you think about today's topic.
Like and share.